guys ever heard of this little game called Sonic Adventure? It is the game that launched Sonic into the 3D landscape. Alright, kind of. But I can't have you guys talking bad about my boy Sonic 3D Blast over here. I mean, look at him. I mean, look at this stupid fan. Whether you like the game or not, you can't deny the influence it had. It brought in millions of fans across the world. It was the highest selling game for the Sega Dreamcast. It was later ported to the GameCube and PC under Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. In 2010 it was ported to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Steam, but also it had multiple adaptations in different forms of media. Comic book arcs from Archie Comics and Sonic the Comic, but also a 6-episode arc in Sonic X based around the game. Needless to say, Sonic Adventure was very popular, and I still think it's safe to say that Sonic Adventure is still one of the most popular Sonic games to this day. So this being Sonic's big jump into 3D, you would want the word to get out. You would want promotion. So, that's what Sega did. There was a giant marketing campaign around this game. I don't think you guys understand how big this thing was. I wouldn't know either because back in 1999, I was a sperm cell, but after looking deeper into it, there was a lot of merchandise. And one of the most notorious pieces of merchandise were the Sonic Adventure Resaurus action figures. Resaurus was an American toy company that was founded back in 1993, but then shut its doors shortly after in 2001. But maybe it's a good thing that Resaurus went out of business, because if you go on their website now, you can find really cool poems. Hell yeah! They made a bunch of high-quality figures for different franchises, such as Street Fighter, Crash Bandicoot, my beloved Speed Racer, and of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. When I was a kid, it was a dream to have these figures. I didn't even play Sonic Adventure. I didn't think I would ever get my hands on that game until I got this weird Dreamcast collection for the Xbox 360. After watching a bunch of my favorite Sonic YouTubers use them for their videos, I really wanted them myself. And I could have gone with some Jazzware Sonic action figures from Toys R Us for Christmas, but no, I had to go above and beyond and make my mom spend over $100 on Sonic Adventure figures. They have a very unique design, and I can tell that Resaurus took a lot of inspiration from Sonic Adventure artwork. Let's go ahead and dive into the figures, starting with Series 1. Now I should mention that I own a decent amount of these figures, but I am missing a majority of their accessories, so we're going to be looking at images and videos from online. But I think it's important to look at the packaging before we dive into the figures themselves. The front of the box displays Sonic and his accessories inside of bubble-carded packaging. It gives you your character-specific sticker at the top left, and then info about what you're getting at the bottom. It says the character's name along with the accessories that come inside, such as the golden ring and action figure base. The Sonic Adventure logo displayed right above the figure, and then at the very top left corner you get the Resaurus and Sega logo. Another really cool addition is that there's some 2D artwork from Sonic Adventure at the top right corner. There's also some artwork of Sonic on the card, but you can barely see it because everything is covering it up. The back of the box is really cool as well. The top left corner says Sonic Adventure action figures, which I'm glad it says because I had no idea that's what I was buying before. An advertisement for the Resaurus website, and also saying that you can get your free Sonic sticker that's on the front of the card. The Resaurus and Sega logo again, photos of all the figures that are currently available, including the Sonic that you just bought, Knuckles, Tails, and then an 11-inch deluxe figure. Some 2D artwork of Sonic at the bottom right, and then at the bottom left some legal info. I really like the packaging to these figures. It shows off everything you need, it's displayed nicely, the back of the box is very simple, it just overall looks really good. Now this is much better compared to like Tommy's packaging. I mean, come on guys, honestly, like, what is this? But it's still packaging no matter what way you put it. It's relatively the same for all of the figures, it just says their character's specific name, it gives their sticker, but of course there's Series 2. It's pretty much the exact same, except the Resaurus logo is a bit bigger, it says Series 2, and now the color of the cards are green instead of purple. In my opinion, the Series 2 cards are way better, minus the green color. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of green, kill me. And now features 2D artwork of Sonic skiing, but now it includes a bio talking all about Sonic Adventure. All the figures are lined up much better than in Series 1, and at the bottom left it shows some franchises that Resaurus has. I'm sorry guys, I talk about packaging way too much. I think this is a problem of mine. I should talk about the figures themselves. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into the figures themselves. I'm sorry for talking about the packaging for so long. I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I love the Sonic Resaurus figures. They're so unique and different than normal Sonic figures, they just stand out so much. As I mentioned earlier, it seems that they base their figures on artwork of Sonic Adventure, so maybe that's why they look the way they do. Sega sent some photos and they decided to base their figures off of those. And it proved well for the most part. I'm not sure how much these would fly nowadays in 2019, as they're much more accurate to normal Sonic the Hedgehog video games. The Wave 1 figures boast around 7 points of articulation per figure. Some may vary, like Tails, who has articulation in his tails, but they're rather limited compared to the Jazzware Sonic line. As of right now, a lot of Sonic figures are either not being articulated at all, such as with Jakks Pacific, or are around the same level, such as Tommy. They stand at around 4 inches, which would make it the biggest if Toy Island wasn't a thing. Those figures were pretty big, around 5 inches tall. But when you look at figures from Jazzwares, Tommy, and now Jakks Pacific, they are slightly larger. The paint on these guys is really good. I've heard almost no complaints about quality control when it comes to these figures. Sculpt-wise, of course, it comes down to the design, and the design of the figures, as we all know, is quite strange. But, of course, that adds charm, and it's always good to have charm when it comes to action figures. You don't want everything looking the exact same, which is unfortunately what you can get a lot of now. They're pretty durable, even though there is this video out on the internet. Go ahead and feast your eyes upon this.
Hello everybody, my name is Coco Boom.
My god, what did they do to you? Also, is this guy in the back? Is he pooping? But don't worry kids, if your Sonic Resaurus figure breaks, all you gotta do is...
You're gonna need some tape.
And then boom, your very valuable Sonic the Hedgehog action figure is good as new. Unlike Wave 2, Wave 1 didn't come with any crazy accessories, outside of rings. They came with their own stands, which let me say, the stands are a little strange. It's very hard to get your figures to stay on there and find a good place to put them on. Thankfully the Sonic and Tails one are somewhat easy, but I cannot get Knuckles to stay on his base to save my life. They come with a rod to put your ring onto, which connects into the base, and it makes displaying the figure nicer. Unfortunately, I got these when I was a child, so I'm missing all of my accessories, even though I bought these in box. But yeah, I like the accessories, and the stickers are a nice addition too. But those three weren't the only Sonic figures to come out in Wave 1. There was another figure, I mentioned it earlier, the 11-inch collectible deluxe figure. This is the rarest figure in Series 1. It's very hard to come by, and I haven't seen a lot of collectors who have this guy. There are actually 2 releases of him. One where he talks, and one where he doesn't. It's quite strange. He's actually the tallest Sonic figure to date, I'm pretty sure, as he stands around 11 and 12 inches tall, while some Jazzware Sonic figures, such as their 10-inch Modern and Classic Sonic, stand at 10 inches tall. There was a rumored 12-inch Knuckles to come out, but it never did, as we all know, which really sucks because I really would have liked to get one of those. But we'll get into canceled and rumored figures later. Let's go ahead and dive into Series 2. Series 2 of the Resaurus Sonic figures released in the year 2000. The line consisted of Amy, Big, Skiing Sonic, and E102 Gamma. These figures are much more rare than Wave 1, as they were released closer to the end of Resaurus' run as a company. They were being released only a couple months before they went under. I really like this line. They decided to add an extra figure in there of Sonic, and I like that. I think more toy companies should do that. If you're gonna make another Sonic figure, make it a variant. Change it up a bit. Change his design, add a couple accessories. That's really cool. I like that Resaurus did that. And speaking of accessories, all these characters have accessories. Other than their ring, Wave 1 didn't have any accessories. But Wave 2, oh, they have accessories for all the figures. Amy has her Pico hammer, Big has his fishing rod, Skiing Sonic has his skis and those things, and Gamma has his accessories too. It's a really cool addition. I really wish more Sonic the Hedgehog action figures would have accessories, but I doubt we'll get as high quality mainline Sonic action figures like we did with these. They all come with the base and rod to hold your ring up, just like Wave 1 had, but this time their bases are much better. See, Series 1 stands, I don't know the proper term for it, but the stands were risen or high. They weren't flat, and it made it hard for your figures to stand up on them. But with Series 2, that's no problem. They're completely flat, so it's easy for your characters to stand up on them. Unlike Series 1, Series 2 didn't come with an 11-inch figure. Like I mentioned earlier, there was an 11-inch Knuckles that was supposed to come out at some point, supposedly, but it wasn't specified whether it was supposed to come out in Series 1, Series 2, or maybe even in Series 3. We'll never know, but at least we did get 4 separate action figures for Series 2. Now, it's really good that Resaurus was able to get out all the playable characters from Sonic Adventure, made into their own action figures. But This line could have been so much more. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. That's right. Now, some of you guys are probably intrigued or in a clinical state of depression thinking about what could have been. And trust me, I'm both of them. Can you imagine if we got figures of Shadow, Rouge, Eggman, and Supersonic? That's such a cool lineup. But why didn't we get these figures? Well, it's something I mentioned before. Resaurus went out of business in 2001, a couple months before Sonic Adventure 2 came out, and unfortunately, the figures never even got to the sculpting process. All we have are these two pictures of Shadow and Rouge that were sent by Sega to Resaurus. Just imagine if we got these figures, Series 3 would easily be the best, but that's not it. Check this out. Yeah, Resaurus was planning a 10th anniversary set. Now, if I'm gonna be honest, this is pretty weak. A recolored Sonic, re-releasing Tails and Knuckles, and a repainted Gamma. E102 Alpha isn't even in character in Sonic Adventure. I think this shows that Resaurus was running out of money. Using old stock and repackaging it, yeah, I'm glad this didn't actually come out, even though I'm sure they'd be pretty valuable nowadays being 10th anniversary products. But one more thing. Here's a statue of the 11-inch Sonic. If you look very closely at the base, it says Sega Dreamcast Championships. This was given to a winner at a Sega Dreamcast Championship event. Somebody in the world has this thing. Oh man, what I would do to have this in my collection. Here's something else. What if they released a Series 4? Gee, it's almost like they could make a figure of Sonic with a very distinct set of shoes. Or maybe Tails in his mech? The possibilities are endless when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog action figures. Usually Sonic the Hedgehog Master Toy Partners keep the license for around 5 to 6 years. But unfortunately, Resaurus only had it for technically 2, even though they had it until they went out of business in 2001. The last products to come out were in the year 2000. They could have made so many other things, maybe even plushes. They did that with Crash Bandicoot, why not Sonic? But yeah, if Resaurus held onto the license, maybe we could have got a Sonic Heroes line. Maybe even a Shadow the Hedgehog line. We could talk about what could have been, but unfortunately, Resaurus is gone. While Resaurus was decaying, Sega handed the license over to Toy Island. They started making their own Sonic Adventure action figures, and everything went on from there. Resaurus had a very short run, but they had a lot of potential. Not only in their Sonic line, but in all of their toy lines, they were very high quality products. I really love my Sonic Resaurus figures, and one of my goals as a collector is to get all of them mint and package. Resaurus deserved to go on for a little longer, but I can see why they shut down. The merchandise that they made was very high quality and they sold it for a really cheap price, so they probably weren't making a lot of money back. They could have made so many cool toys, but it is what it is. I always look back on the Sonic Adventure toy line that they made. Even if they're extremely expensive nowadays, they deserve to be. They're pieces of history for Sonic. They're some of the best Sonic products out there. They usually range from $80 to $150 for a mint and package figure. If you want them out of box, they usually will range from $30 to $50, and if you want a really crappy one, then maybe you'll get one from $20 under. These figures have stood the test of time. It's the very first Sonic toy line, and it's been very hard to top. Some could argue that Jazzwares made a better toy line in their 3-inch figures, and while that is a much more complete set, I'll still always look back on these. In conclusion, the Resaurus Sonic Adventure toy line was a short-lived, well-made, charming collection of Sonic the Hedgehog action figures. I love them to death and they hold a very special place in my heart. Maybe one day I can own all of these mint and package. Only time will tell. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys checking out this brand new series. This is not the brand new style I'll be doing for all of my videos. I will be predominantly doing the standing in front of the camera, but I hope you guys will stick with me for my in-depth analysis when we do this kind of style. I'll be reviewing all the Sonic toy lines. Yes, all of them. No separate parts. I'll be doing every toy line in their own video. So that means Toy Island, Jazzwares, Tomy, and then Jakks Pacific when that's done, which will be in years. So that video might never come. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate you guys checking this out. I'd like to thank these 3 people for inspiring this series. The style of the video was from Pat Mack and the whole idea of video game merchandise videos. Treasure Hunting Sonic's a really amazing Sonic the Hedgehog merchandise channel. I saw some Sonic stuff from him and I'm like, dang, I like Sonic toys too. And this Twitter user inspired me to make this series in the first place, and a light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, why haven't I done this before? So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching this new style. I'll see you guys next week for Tuesday's video. Thank you. Peace out.